do it.
And here we are. Oh no, I messed up. There it goes. Here I come. There I am. He can be taught. All right. Welcome NGS Season 9. Once again, I got my buddy Stoic over here to my left. Why is my hand not showing up after it goes through the break? That's weird. Anyway, got my buddy Stoic. We're here for Caffeinated Nights versus Arrogant Nephalem. I got my caffeine right here. Super excited for an awesome match this evening. Infernal Shrines being the first map. Map bans are Altrek Pass, Brax's Holdout, Cursed Hollow, and Tomb of the Spider Queen. And I'm ready to see a really great match. Stoic, if you could fill us in on this team history while we're drafting, that would be fantastic.
Yeah, Arrogant Nephilim is a long-time NGS team, and they're sitting at the top of their division at the top of this division, B West. They've got wins against Feigned Confidence, Abba Murky Cult, and Soak Every Lane. While Caffeinated Knights is a new team, they have wins against Phoenix Rising Onyx and Roll One. So both of these teams undefeated. We got the old school and the new school coming to clash here on Infernal Shrines.
All right, well, this should make for a very interesting match then, especially because neither team has dropped a match this season.
Yes, they both have dropped one map, but neither have lost a match.
They've dropped a map, but not a match.
That is correct. Looks like I'm not talking loud enough.
No, they say they can hear you, just not me very well. Maybe I have to use my outside voice. Sylvanas and Kael'thas dropping as bans early on. We'll see if I just have to eat my mic. Maybe I can adjust a few things here. Lucio, second ban.
Interesting. I think Kael'thas and Sylvanas are both great heroes here on this map. Zool, also a good hero here on this map, all being banned out. Caffeinated Knights with their first pick will pick up Johanna, a very often first pick here in the NGS so far. Strong tank, good on most maps, and great on this map in particular. Red team, Arrogant Nephilim, now going to choose their two heroes to respond.
All right, I did. Ooh, that put me in the red. I did make some adjustments. I believe I should be a lot easier to hear now, and y'all might have to turn me down because did I turn my mic up about 25%? All right, Joanna, yes, a really good pick. Mephisto and Malthael coming out. I've been loving me some Mephisto recently. Oh my Lanta, is he tickle me Mephisto.
Yeah, he's quite strong. This is one of Trabe's top heroes. Kime, I think it is.
Kime, that's correct.
Kime, and Malthael's one of Kime's comfort picks as well. So they're coming out strong with two great heroes.
Well, that's fantastic to see. I really like seeing players playing heroes that they're comfortable with, that are also really strong. Which sounds like an obvious choice. We're gonna go with someone that it sounds like I'm gonna play my best hero that's also one of the best heroes in the game. But when you're trying to make a team comp work, you got to build around stuff, and it can't just be everybody playing their number one hero. You got to make something work. But when you have, those heroes that are versatile, that are also, strong, and your more played heroes. I'm being redundant at this point. I'm sure it can work really well for your team. And so someone like a Greymane as well, very, very engaging, very high damage, really deadly in the hands of someone who's skilled with them, but kind of mediocre in someone that's not so comfortable with that mixed role that Greymane provides. Did that make sense?
Yeah, definitely. Anna's in the same boat there. Really impactful hero, but if you miss your shots, you're not healing anything.
Right, and you ever play Ana and feel like you're hitting all your sleeps and none of your heals because your team is dodging?
That has happened to me. Yes, definitely.
Mega Muffins in the chat. Arrogant Nephilim on point, picking the Diablo bosses with Malthael and Mephisto. Trying to get some. Sorry about that. I am gonna blame the dog on that one. Trying to get that map advantage. And Jaina and Imperius coming out to finish off the roster for Caffeinated Knights. So we got Joanna and Imperius, a really solid engage with Jaina and Gravey to follow up with I give up. Stream's over. Y'all have a good night. Okay, bye. Anna to follow up as well. People in chat looking for a taunt variant coming out of Segatai, which I think is what he did last time we saw him. Maiev coming in. Yeah, that's got to be a taunt variant to kill it in on the Maiev. Really hard engage coming out of Caffeinated Knights with the pick comp coming out of Arrogant Nephalem. This is going to be interesting. I think the Stukov is what's going to make the Maiev work with Endurance of Hate, but I think the Joanna has the better engage. Personal opinion. So let's find out from you guys if I can remember how to make this work.
Yeah, both teams here, look at these two drafts. Both teams can get good shrine damage and also good damage onto heroes. I think that we're going to have two scary comps duking it out here.
All right, so there is a poll live in chat now, and it's been live for 30 seconds by the time you get this, I'm sure. Which team do you think drafted better, Caffeinated Knights or Arrogant Nephalem? Also, for those of you that have been here for a few days now, if you like these polls, let me know. Definitely going to try to keep you guys more involved as we go through this season. I also want to take a moment to thank Samus Hunter and Mayday Wow for following coming up into this match. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, we're waiting on somebody's computer who's a little bit slow.
Yeah, someone has a hamster. It might be mine. So, Stoic, who do you think has the better draft going into this?
I always have to side with the Johanna teams here. I think I like Caffeinated Knights. I think that while the Arrogant Nephalem has an incredible ability to absolutely delete somebody who gets taunted by Varian, I think that if you look at the kits from Caffeinated Knights, all of them except for Greymane have some kind of slow or stun or asleep. And I think that amount of CC pre-10, I think we should see a lot of I think they're going to find quite a few picks, even against a pick comp that Arrogant Nephalem has drafted here. But we'll have to see, because Arrogant Nephalem has gotten quite a few kills this season so far.
Yeah. Mega Muffin's also predicting a Blessed Shield out of Joanna. You think we see the shield for the instant stun, or do you think we see the full team Wombo with Falling Sword?
I'm going to go, it's probably going to be the Blessed Shield.
That probably makes sense. Get a disrupt on Stukov and Varian.
Yeah, I think for sure. And the ability at level 20 to get that like ranged mosh pit is just so strong.
Out of all right. So we do have a pause, and it does seem like Imperius has disconnected. His hamster is tired. So let's get F's in chat for Sand CP9's hamster.
Yeah, that Malfield just reached through the computer and just absolutely
last righted
that Imperius. It's funny, Jägermeister talking about Cyan in chat as Cyan is there questioning.
Caffeinated Knights definitely has the all right. So ready checks are sat, starting in 3, 2, 1. Here we go.
Taco playing some quick referee there. Excellent job. Making sure both teams are ready. Blue team with a slight rotation advantage here.
It's more of a, what do you call it? A figurehead position? Like the queen. What do they call the queen?
Rich.
Oh, sure. Okay. It's not a real position. It's just like a
figurehead. You're right.
Figurehead, ceremonial, something. Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah. Tomato, potato. Looks like we do get a quick siege camp coming out of Caffeinated Knights. Varian looking to disrupt, but having to go stop the Jaina from disrupting his own team's siege camp. double siege camp early in the game, capping at about the same time. Those are just going to clash in mid. We'll see which team decides to go clear as we come down to the bottom siege camp. Again, Varian anchoring for his team, looking for an opportunity to get in. Joanna, one of those J names ending in nah. Saying nah after all as they get silenced, not able to cast spells. A good invade by Arrogant Nephalem, getting in on that siege camp, getting 2 siege camps early, denying one from Caffeinated Knights.
Excellent use of the blink there by Maev to zone that Jaina, make her back off, which allowed them to step up without having to fear of another blizzard coming down.
You mean the Jaina?
I meant the Jaina. You're
the
correct.
Jaina. Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm trying to get my pronunciations down, and I seem to be messing them up. I just wanted to clarify.
I think it's Jaina.
We have
I'll continue to keep saying Jaina.
We have Jaina and Johanna on the same team, so it can get a little confusing as Johanna does go unstoppable with the Iron Skin to walk through and try not to get taunted by the Varian.
Yep. We got the red team moving up to get their bruiser camp right at this 2-minute 30-second mark, looking to have that pushing during the objective.
It is unfortunately going to be pushing the same lane as the objective, however, so while it can help them get pressure, it is probably not going to last very long. We do have a result from the poll. Caffeinated Knights is the favored comp from the chat. That doesn't mean that's who they prefer to win. That is just the determined better team comp.
You know, while red team did get their bruiser camp pretty early, doing so allowed them to get a little bit extra soak here. Maev in the bottom, Mephisto in the middle, and they found
Imperius
themselves
having to go back after getting beaten down by Arrogant Nephalem on his way back into the fort. Out of position, he really almost died there. Fortunate that the rest of his team was able to follow up. Keep going, Stoic.
Oh no, now it's negligible, but they have about a quarter of a level of experience lead. Arrogant Nephalem finding that little bit of value here.
With Imperius being back in the base, Arrogant Nephalem getting a lot of progress on this objective. Trying to keep the range damage pushed out so they can't interfere. Imperius on his way back. Arrogant Nephalem has 10 Guardians left to go. Imperius getting the engage on the Maev, stunning her so Greymane can finish her off, and stopping the follow-up on Jaina. Jaina running for her life as Imperius approached in time to get a kill. We see the taunt go out onto the Joanna, but it's not going to be enough. Varian looking low himself. Arrogant Nephalem does secure the Punisher. The Punisher going to push for them. And they, for the most part, back off. They kind of come back in to try to engage. A big taunt goes out onto the Imperius. That was a really bold Celestial charge from Imperius onto the Mephisto. Followed up really well by the rest of Mephisto's team. Imperius barely staying alive out of that.
It was a well-timed taunt. They took all that damage from the Immortal.
Yeah, I do think that it's surprising that Arrogant Nephalem did pick 2 Diablo bosses and no Nephalem, as they do pick off Imperius, who also has a problem with Arrogant Nephalem.
Yeah, Imperius, probably the wrong time to disconnect there, as he disconnects and gets found.
That is unfortunate. That would explain a lot about that catch.
Yeah. And with that kill, Arrogant Nephalem is free to get there. Both of these siege camps in the middle. Jaina looking like she wants to get the bottom, but a little scared as the red team's coming down.
Really good no call on the Jaina with that siege camp as Arrogant Nephalem, as 4 comes down to pick it up. Malthael in a 1v2 against Greymane and Imperius, able to stay up, wearing down the Imperius. Greymane goes down to help his team defend the bot lane as that siege camp is pushing. Segatai taking a lot of damage as a Varian. We've seen him solo take his Varian before, and again, it doesn't sit well with me, but he does play it well.
Yeah, trading some of that peel for the team for just that really strong engage. It's really easy to follow up on a taunt. Seeing pings come out as they're worried about Varian in this bush, and they're taking the long, safe rotation. Really smart play from the blue team as they respect that level 10 advantage from Arrogant Nephalem.
Yeah, definitely going to be looking for Caffeinated Knights to not take an engage here, as they are down by that heroic talent here, very impactful, and we've seen a lot during NGS as they fight over the bottom fort and push off Arrogant Nephalem, that unless you absolutely have to, we don't see teams taking fights down to talent.
Yeah, really disciplined play. You love to see it.
On Arrogant Nephalem, we have Massive Shove, Warden's Cage, Shield Wall, Last Rites, and Endurance of Hate as Caffeinated Knights pick up their heroics, Cursed Bullet, Nano Boost, Wrath of the Angiris. That is a surprising pickup. Blessed Shield and Summon Water Elemental.
Maybe he didn't get the memo that the bug has been fixed.
Well, maybe, but Angelic Armaments is almost the reason why you play Imperius. Now, granted, because he's not the only frontliner, a lot of people try to play Imperius like a tank instead of a cruiser. It is okay for him to pull himself off the map as we get a big engage from Maiev going and try to put pressure on the cruiser camp, but her team's not there to follow up. She gets caught by the Imperius. Blessed Shield goes out, and Jaina finishing out to Maiev as we hear the Cursed Bullet, and the Last Rites go out on the Joanna. Not quite enough to finish her off. She's able to Iron Skin, get the shield, and the camp gets the killing blow on Maltfield. There goes the heroic from Imperius, picking up the Baron, brings him back into his team. Shield Wall might be enough to get him out along with the Stuka Silence, but it is not. Ana with the killing blow. That is a 3-for-0 favor Caffeinated Knights. The internet boss has returned, and Arrogant Nephalem can no longer take advantage of it.
Yeah, really strong. Good engage, good counter engage there. That Maiev was not respecting the line of scrimmage, and she paid for it. And so did Varian.
8 minutes. Jaina finishes her Fingers of Frost.
Quite a few of those juicy globes. She's going to love that mana regen as she continues to deal quite a bit of damage in this game. Leading the charge at 12,000, followed shortly after by what's his name? Mal. Yep, Greyman and Malthiel. That's what I meant.
Now they are really close to each other in damage. It's basically negligible. As this Punisher, it is a frozen Punisher, is pushing down the mid lane, and so words are hard. Caffeinated Knights looking to take advantage of the structure disabling to engage under fort. That's going to be big. Endurance of Hate comes out from Mephisto, going to finish off the Joanna. Joanna nowhere to go as her Iron Skin was down. Maiev in the back line with the siege camp on the Jaina and the Ana. Not going to be enough to catch them, though. They get away clean as Jaina meets Greymane in the bot lane for clear.
Yeah, a little 1-for-1 there. Pretty ballsy for the blue team to just, the Caffeinated Knights to say, we'll kill you underneath your fort. So we saw Johanna taking a ton of damage.
And they didn't take the fort. While the fort was disabled, obviously going for picks underneath when you can't be hit by it is a strategy, but at the same time, why not get rid of the fort so you don't have to worry about it at all?
That's a really good point. That the damage that went onto Varian could have gone onto that fort.
Instead of effectively being wasted.
Yeah, that's fair, because now the teams are equal. All the heroes are back up. Arrogant Nephalem actually has a slight experience lead.
They do, and that fort would be given them positive experience. That siege camp in the middle lane not going to get the fort either. Maltfield comes down to clear, and Arrogant Nephalem trying to push this bottom fort as well, but getting pushed off, not able to contest it.
Ooh, scary bush party here. Varian was anchoring, and now he's in trouble.
Varian sinking like an anchor into the abyss. He gets a taunt out onto Greymane. You see the Endurance Pay go out. Greymane falls. Jaina finishes her quest. Suga pushing out the Joanna. Varian actually staying alive, so he made from something else as an anchor. So yeah.
Great timing on his protects there, because I thought that Greymane would have got him between them, but he doing well to use them at the right time and survive that damage, where really just completely rebuffing Caffeinated Knight's aggression.
Yeah, we do see the first fort fall in the bot lane, favor Arrogant Nephalem, who have their own fort in danger at in the mid lane. Not much health left on it. It has just over 2,000 health left. That's going to be that should fall soon if Caffeinated Knights wants to stay in XP as Arrogant Nephalem pick off Imperius. Imperius not lasting long with the Endurance of Hate and the silence underneath.
Yeah, I think Caffeinated Knights had a really strong early game, but now Arrogant Nephalem is finding these couple of picks that's allowing them to get now what's an advantage on the map.
Dim going out on very turning around and taunting the Joanna. Silence goes out to stop the Iron Skin. Blessed Shield in return. Malthiel and Maiev caught by the Blessed Shield, but they are going to get away. About half health. 3 of them Arrogant Nephalem. Kadim goes out again on the variant. That's all she's getting with that. Protects come out as well, trying to avoid the damage that he can. And ultimately, nothing happens out of that exchange except for the fact that Arrogant Nephalem has all of their ultimates available, and Caffeinated Knights only has 3.
Wow, excellent noticing that there. We'll see if if the Caffeinated Knights try to get this fort, or if they'll just go and engage onto this shrine now that they have equal talent tiers. Varian might not be the greatest tank, but doing a great job anchoring.
Yeah, he's still trying to help with the objective while staying on the other side of the shrine. He does get stabbed by Imperious. The curse bullet catching Malthiel, and then a sleepy dart. Endurance of Hate, Warden's Cage go out. That is a big combo onto Caffeinated Knights. Imperious and Greymane falling along with the Malthiel. The Angel of Death does have his last say. Let's go with yeah. Reference, lore, fun stuff. Bruiser Camp pushing down the top lane, well, pushing into the top lane for Caffeinated Knights, as Arrogant Nephalem does get this Arcane Punisher that is going to push down the bot lane. Again, the Arcane Punisher spawns these laser beams that spin around in circles, kind of like if you ever played the original Super Mario Brothers. Most of you kids probably too young to remember. However, it's like the little fire beams in Bowser's castles.
That is exactly what they are. PTSD.
Yep. So that will be continuous structure and hero damage for anything caught in it. Easy, relatively easy to avoid, still a pain, and lots of damage. John Cena does jump over the ropes to catch the Joanna. Gonna do some PvP mode for a while and then goes back onto the structures. Notice Arrogant Nephalem not worried about pushing with it into that keep. Instead they're going for fort value instead, having 3 forts to none, while Malthiel's picking up this siege camp all by himself.
Yeah, that is a ton of value there. In one objective, they got a keep wall and 2 forts. Quite a bit of value, as they are now a whole level lead. They have a whole level lead.
Yeah, absolutely. Both teams are on the same talent tier. Talent tiers. They're delicious. But Arrogant Nephalem approaching 20 much faster than Caffeinated Knights, and that level 20 difference is going to be huge, especially when we see Mimic coming out of Mephisto and probably Revive coming out of Malthiel. Malthiel has 2 of his team's 6 deaths, and in this type of a game, he's dying frequently enough to warrant taking the no one can stop death talent. Although I wouldn't be necessarily surprised to see the last rights improvement for the heal either.
Yeah, hasn't quite got a stack of Last Rites, so if he does take that at 20, he'll get double stacks, which would be quite nice for him.
Yes, but you still have to get kills with it to get those stacks, however the healing will go through.
That is true. But I mean, if they get a 20 advantage, maybe he'll find those picks he's looking for.
Yeah. We see a pretty standard Lightning Nova build coming out of Mephisto. A very defensive Varian Shattering Throw to take out the Iron Skin. A really solid pick there. I'm not seeing anything else specifically noteworthy. A full Q build coming out of Imperious. I haven't really seen that, but I've heard things about it.
Yeah, I think that's the one that I'm noticing here is Inspirious getting caught out, silenced, and there's that first stack of Last Rites on Imperious, who stayed around a little bit too long.
Imperious trespassing on Arrogant Nephalem's declared territory, read his last rights by Malthiel. And Imperious has been kind of bullied this entire game. He's died 4 times. We'll put an asterisk next to one of them.
Yep, Arrogant Nephalem now with level 20 advantage, got Siege Camp that they're protecting here on this mid-keep wall. Malthiel, during all this, is going to go up and take a chance to steal this Bruiser, which will also push on a keep wall. Arrogant Nephalem with significant map control here, going into this objective.
We do see the top objective again. This was where the first one was. We have yet to see one in the mid lane, unless I'm backwards. And the first one was mid. No, the top one was the first one was top. We were talking about that bruiser can. So interesting push in the mid lane. Both ports down, even though no objective. Varian getting pulled into the range of the keep by the wrath of the NGS. I had to look and see what the talent's called because I never see it. Varian just gonna walk out of there. That's a big cooldown down for Caffeinated Knights. Also, Water Elemental being used, and that's a heroic swing at level 20. Arrogant Nephalem has a huge advantage coming into this objective. We do see improved massive shove, Shadow Orb, Shadow Strike. Maya's level 20s are interesting. This one improving or targeted damage and a slow. Refreshed by dealing spell damage, so probably hitting her Q, maybe a W. I guess she can shoot her E through if she really wants to, but it seems like a poor use of the E unless you're using it to engage and get that back up. Then you engage with the slow as well. Glory to the Alliance, that is the move, the increased healing under the banner and keeps its uptime. He did take the spell power banner to help out Mephisto. We do see No One Can Stop Death coming out of the Malthiel and Mimic coming out of the Mephisto. Fairly standard overall. And Arrogant Nephalem getting a big engage on the Imperious again. Imperious hit by all of the CC coming from Arrogant Nephalem. He goes down again. Imperious just not allowed to play in this game. I heard a cursed bullet also. Not going to get effective damage. But they do draw the Punisher away from the Keep. The Keep's going to fall anyway. And, yeah. The Punisher, instead of going for the core, does swap over to the Keep, then jumps onto Greymane. I don't like Greymane either, Punisher. I feel ya, fam. Condemn going out, catching Trave and the Killadin. Both fairly mobile damage dealers. Getting caught under the core, not good for them, but they're able to get out. Varian to the rescue. Maiev jumping back in, 20 health, never mind, none. Greymane with the finish. Joanna going down to the Mephisto as well with a vengeance kill. 2 for 1 for Arrogant Knights. For Arrogant Nephalem, Caffeinated Knights looking a little rough coming out of that, but their core is still up. They have 3 heroes alive, and they do have a chance. Stoic, what is that chance?
Yeah, the siege camps, while it was going, finally got that mid fort. Those are pushing down. Cabinet Knights will have another chance here. They're going to be able to clear these waves, push things back, and with 100% of core life, it's possible that they get a team wipe and they could run it down mid.
Now, to get this team wipe, their engage pretty much relies on Blessed Shield. Wrath of the Angeris is not really a useful engage. It's a good pick, but I think they would be better off if we got the Blessed Shield engage, which, let's see, she took Blinded by the Light. Interesting. Haven't seen that
Best shield talent in the game.
Yeah?
Oh yeah. We can talk about it later, but oh yeah,
absolutely,
it's broken.
we will. We'll talk about it in between games. But if we get if she can get a Blessed Shield engage, and then Imperious can remove Varian from the fight, I think the 4v4 goes to Caffeinated Knights.
I think you're totally right here. We got to watch this Imperious though. I think he's been not quite in sync with the rest of the team a couple of times, getting caught out, and that's been really making Caffeinated Knights be fighting down 4v5 quite often.
Yeah, I would like to see. Or I think we should be looking to see Caffeinated Knights try to get an engage near a wall. Like in this siege camp, if they were to catch this, would be a great opportunity for Imperious to grab the Variant, take him over the wall, separate him out from the rest of the team. We do have a pause coming from Arrogant Nephalem.
Interesting.
So let's look at this talent from Johanna, rather. I am really losing it today. Blinded by the Light. This is a 60-second cooldown. Activate to grant nearby allied heroes a shield equal to 25% of their maximum health for 3 seconds.
Okay, we could stop. We could stop there, and it's already better because most of these are 20% health.
Oh,
but hers
like
is 25.
the storm shields?
Most of the storm shields are usually 20. This one's 25. But wait, there's more.
Hitting heroes with shield glare reduces the cooldown of this ability by 8 seconds, and I assume that's per hero.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Maybe it's not per hero. Maybe I'm crazy.
Maybe it's per cast?
Yeah, but still, even if it is per cast, which
I'm
now
sure
I'm
chat will correct us here shortly.
sure, but even if it is per cast, you can get that 2 casts, which means every 30 seconds you're giving your team that little burst, that Lucio burst shield.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's really big. Even if it were only every minute, you're right. That's a really big shield. And then to reduce the cooldown, that talent alone, that's we see a shove coming out of the Stukov and the increased healing from Varian. So both sides do have fairly defensive level 20s as well, so that might not be as huge of a swing, but if we can see effective use out of that, that can absolutely turn the tide in a fight for Caffeinated Knights. Chat coming in to the rescue. It is per hero.
Oh, so I was right. Well, I didn't trust myself, but yeah. So that's such a strong. I mean, if you're flashlighting the whole team and you get to shield your team, and then that shield goes away, but that team was blinded, you just the uptime of being able to shut down enemy engage is so strong there.
Yeah. And it doesn't even matter that it's a blind. It's just that the skill hits because you're going for the shield use. It doesn't have any other interaction with the blind, so it's not like you'd pick it against auto attackers versus not. It's just that's just an activation mechanism. So,
Yeah,
I'm
it's
gonna have
a
to look at
strong
that.
talent.
Let's look at this. I'm intrigued by this Q build.
From Imperius.
Yeah.
My thinking is they're thinking that they could isolate a scary target, shut them down, but I mean, because it's a lot of investment. I mean, Imperius has lots of interesting talents to deal tons of damage, but this looks to me like he's trying to spear somebody and just hold him there so the rest of his team, so Greymane could get a bullet or Jaina could get a blizzard. It really looks like an initiator, but we haven't really seen it play out that way.
Yeah.
That's my theory crafting in my head.
All right. Well, I definitely want to see it. I definitely want to see how it works. I would love to see it very well. I'm getting schooled in chat. I would like to see it work out. I'd like to see a really orchestrated, drawn-out team fight where everybody gets to really play their heroes to the extent that they should be, instead of just having a really one-sided fight that's over almost instantaneously.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think that hopefully Caffeinated Knights can take this moment here to regroup, come up with a strategy. They're going to have an idea of where Arrogant Nephalem is on the map. And they're not. This game is not out of their hands yet.
No, they definitely have an opportunity to come back. They're down a keep. They're down all their forts. They have one of the forts taken from the other team, but this is everything that happens before this point in the game. This point in the game being any time that you can say this point in the game. Is definitely not as important as what's about to happen. The next fight is always the most important fight. Now, everything that happened before can help you set up for that fight. It gives you advantages. It lets you press, and it lets you press forward. It gives you an opportunity to stall and let map pressure take advantage as well. So you get more leeway. But when you take a fight, unless your core is falling to something else, it's always an opportunity to start winning.
Yeah, I think you've hit the nail on the head there. Man, I want to see. Yeah, I really am hoping to see this Imperius find a nice, delicious snack on a stick.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
absolutely.
hoping.
He's got his stick ready. He's ready for shish kebabs. Let's see it go. All right, both teams are ready. Here we go. Interesting regrouping period as well. Maev back into the game. Arrogant Nephalem not being too arrogant, they're not going to try to win this with one Maev tied behind their back. They are sticking together, trying to roll as a 5-man death ball, because if they can get a pick, they will, they'll end. Absolutely, they'll end if they get a pick. The shrine is activating. They may detour over to it, but and this makes sense. They're setting up top lane for the push over during the objective. So either Jaina has to clear, maybe Greymane, but someone has to stay clear, or Caffeinated Knights runs the risk of losing to Winions. The shrine is active.
And good work on Arrogant Nephalem's part to set up that win condition to make sure that that is still a possibility no matter how this objective goes.
Yeah, taking that keep down does put that in there, put that tool in their toolbox. As Joanna and Jaina working on the clear, and they don't see where they're coming from, and they get circled, flanked by Arrogant Nephalem. Dirt's Pay goes out. We see the Mimic putting out lots of big damage. Blizzard comes out. There's a Warden's Cage protect from the Varian. Wrath on the Stukov, gonna slam him into the ground for death. A big response coming out of Caffeinated Knights. Huge play. That is a 5-0 team fight. Off of getting flanked, we do see No One Can Stop Death being activated by Malthael. He's going to go for a push. Jaina going to stop the Winions while her team takes the objective. That was a huge play coming out of Arrogant Nephalem. They circled around, as we saw briefly. The Caffeinated Knights had no idea where Arrogant Nephalem was. That was a completely blind flank and engage, and Arrogant Nephalem played it, or Caffeinated Knights played it perfectly, swept the team, stayed alive 100%.
Shout out to my boy Imperious, getting 3 of those kills, had some excellent forks, a great Wrath of the Angiris. At least of that fight, Imperious is my MVP. Excellent job on him confirming those kills. Now the blue team is knocking down this keep wall, and they'll probably get this keep here with Maev and Mephisto dead for the next 3 seconds.
Yep, this is the Arcane Punisher again. This is the 4th Punisher of the map, so they have restarted or recycled. It's gone into EVP mode as the keep falls down. Another big Celestial Charge onto the Stukov. Stukov going down. We see Taunt come out as Imperious falls right before his Wrath comes back up. Not able to use that to separate out the fight. This is this
Nano Jaina.
The Mimic getting out lots of damage for the Imperious. 30%, 20. John Cena going in for the kill. KO on the core. John Cena, MVP, Caffeinated Knights. No, Imperious made a fantastic comeback on to into that last fight. Well, that second to last fight, the one over the shrine. And then, where are you? There you are. What a comeback. Like, everything was, it's exactly what we were talking about during the pause.
It's like we just scripted that game.
Right? You know what? That's why they paused. So, except, no, it was Arrogant Nephalem that paused.
Yeah.
But during the pause, Caffeinated Knights clearly came over to hear what we thought about how they should win, took our advice, and took it to the bank.
They said, Imperious, buddy, you got this. And he said, I got this.
They're making fun of your build, Imperious. You better show them. You better show them. Give them the cue. And he gave them the clamps.
Yeah, that was it was an amazing comeback. Just really just on a dime, snap turnaround to get a wipe and to kill the core.
Wow, that's gonna be one that Caffeinated Knights needs to go back and watch that game to see what happened all the way up until level 20, level 21, and see what happened, or to see how they were getting beat so bad. Other than Imperious getting caught, and that might have been 100% of the issue. It also looks like Maev is having some connection issues as well, but we're not going to blame the internet boss. That fight, Arrogant Nephalem chose to take the fight. Arrogant Nephalem chose to do that engage, and if they had a They had a connection issue. Didn't I set that? If they had a connection issue, they knew about it. Caffeinated Knights definitely took that engage very well. They stopped it, they countered it, and then they took it to the bank. And that's really all you could expect out of it. So
Yeah,
really well done.
and snap decision making. As soon as that Varian grabbed the Ana, the Stukov silence came out.
I left these stats. My bad.
The Stukov silence came out right away, and then the Ana was able to do the sleep dart, which allowed the Johanna to turn and the Imperius to turn. It was Arrogant Nephilim had a really sneaky strategy and almost got it, but the quick decision making and reactions of Caffeinated Knights really set that team fight back in their favor.
Oh yeah, very, very strong play coming out of the end of that game for Caffeinated Knights.
Yeah, so we're seeing Caffeinated Knights, the currently the third ranked team in B West, just took the first map off of Arrogant Nephilim, who is the first ranked team in B West. So strong showing from both, as Arrogant Nephilim was dominating that whole game.
Yeah. Well, and that's kind of what we expect out of these top two teams in this division is not only the ability to execute a fight and to show up to play, but to be able to play from behind and turn it around, to know where they're messing up and how to fix it. Oh, the other thing I was going to mention also is, and then Arrogant Nephilim is going to want to watch this to see what happened with that engage.
Yeah, I think you're right. Something, they had their number. I think as I'm also thinking about this, I think you mentioned this before, that Varian maybe not the greatest of the tanks, but I think that this Segatai did an excellent job of adding another ability to Varian's kit, and that's the ability to sit in a bush on a horse and just wait. Really, really adding to that Varian's abilities here, and I loved that.
Yeah, it was. We've been seeing that a little bit more. The ability of these tanks to anchor and stay patient, phenomenal. I do want to distract for just a second from what we're talking about too. Do you see that behind me, sticking out of my screen on my couch?
Your dog?
Yes, my dog asleep on her back, just presenting to the world.
Oh, jeez.
Just not a care. Well, no, not like that. That's not what I meant. Just not a care. Just like, I'm super comfortable. This is my couch. Nobody else come here.
My 4-pound puppy does the same thing.
Yeah. All right, it looks it looks like we do have everybody back in. To Killidan's internet issues seem to be solved.
Yep, she's hoping for no more lag this game. Strong teams, strong fights. Good game here. As we move into map number 2, Dragonshire.
Yeah. So Dragonshire, another 3-lane map, but a big difference between the two objectives, other than the fact that this is a player-controlled vehicle, is you have 2 control points, one in the very top lane, another in the very bottom lane. Like the bottom of the bottom lane and the top of the top lane. And then you have a contested channel in the mid lane. So expect to see some globals, high mobility, and area control. That's what I got.
I think that's good. I think this is also, you need to look out for those heroes that are strongest here. A hero like Rexar. This is one of his top battlegrounds.
Yeah, Rexar
can just
really
completely control the top lane. A hero like Maiev is good here. Or not Maiev. Maiev is really good here. But I meant Yrel is good here in an off lane where she can jump over the wall while her opponent has to completely walk all the way around. We'll see if either of those two heroes make it into this draft.
Yeah. All right, both teams are ready. Never mind. Wait. Is what I'm seeing in the chat. Almost ready. Red team, not quite. Oh no. More
Yikes.
connectivity issues. So chat, keep talking about my dog. That's fine.
Very entertaining stream with so many pauses. LOL. Yikes. I mean, the games are great. The games are great. Trial by fire. Kime's coming for you, man. He's planned all this.
Right. Yeah, he's definitely got my goat. So.
Oh man.
Let's see.
I just can't imagine. Both teams here must be very frustrated with the internet situation going on.
Yeah,
I
both
can't
teams
imagine.
having a problem. All right.
Yeah. Here we go.
So, yep, both teams are ready. Here we go into Dragonshire. Nailed the transition. That was my best one yet. Yes.
Good job. Good job.
I'm proud of myself. Okay.
No, I'm proud of you too. It's good. I'm glad you nailed it. Alrighty. Who chose Dragonshire? Which team?
Caffeinated Knights chose Dragonshire. Arrogant Nephalem does have the first pick.
All right.
And sorry, we've been waiting for a little bit, and I forgot to fill that in. So yeah, Sylvanas. Hey, we've just been talking about Sylvanas, but that's my dog, not the hero that we were talking about. And she's just really strong overall, especially when you can control what lane's getting pushed. So, Sylvanas being able to disrupt those vehicles. Do you think we see a respect ban coming out from either team?
I don't know. I don't think there was a hero that really dominated that game. I think the variant did a good job of setting things up for Arrogant Nephalem, but I don't think it's worthy of a respect ban. I think if we see bans, they'll be meta and map based. What about you? Anything you saw that was worthy of a respect ban? Not that anything wasn't good.
Imperius came back really strong.
That's true.
Mephisto is a really good hero. We don't see the Imperius coming out. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see a second ban phase on the Imperius. I would not be surprised to see a Mephisto ban. Caffeinated Knights banning their own Ana. Interesting. I'm going to go ahead and set up this poll if you want to.
Yeah, I can run the draft. And red team, Segatai takes Johanna. Great first lock. Both of these matches have begun with a Johanna pickup.
She's worth it.
Yeah, oh yeah. She is so good. Such a good hero. It's possible that the blue team's ban is targeting one of Null Pointer's heroes, who plays the Ana.
And then we get
Greymane again.
on the other side.
Yep, picked up for Vivanchi again. So he's feeling that. Anduin coming out for Harborin.
Am I spelling caffeinated
Anduin.
right? Yeah, it's EI. Sorry. I'm
Good,
just here
you're
being
good.
dumb.
Spelling is very important.
Nephalem is A-L-E-M. I could check my stream, but I typed it in there too, so.
It is time.
I think that is the correct way to spell. Ooh! And Zool finds his way through draft.
This is a really strong draft for Arrogant Nephalem. Joanna, Zool, Mephisto. 3 of the top heroes right now in the meta.
Yeah, and Kime plays some Zool. This is a hero that he has practiced. Yeah, so I think that'll be exciting to see what can happen there. And I wonder if Zool will be in the 4-man or if he'll just run it down top.
Stukov ban comes out. That's a respect ban.
This is true. Stukov definitely is an interrupter.
Just really big disrupt. That area silence on the capping points is just destructive. It fills up basically the entire shrine, and if you place it right, you can stop people from capping and stop people from escaping.
And that would be scary to be trapped with a Lightning Nova Mephisto with Stukov underneath your feet. That would be very hard to walk away from.
To be fair, it would be scary to be trapped with any Mephisto, but
That's true. I mean, any one of these characters would probably be pretty scary to be trapped with. I mean, they're all quite violent. I've seen Murky do unspeakable things.
Murky
Keep
is
that little thing away
unspeakable,
from me.
but what about Cuddle Bear Stitches?
No, that's maybe one of the most creepy heroes. Can you imagine this gigantic teddy bear with like its guts falling out, saying, "Stitches want to play"? That's the stuff of nightmares.
Okay, but that Brightwing is the most adorable thing you've ever seen, and you have to admit it.
It's true.
And
If
then
I had to have
out comes
a hero
Big
as a
Papa.
pet, wow. Both cute dragons coming out here. The Brightwing.
All we're missing is Lifebinder. But we all know that Worldbreaker Brightwing, or Destroyer Brightwing, is the leader of the Unfree World. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
So rounding out these drafts, Brightwing and Raynor both good pickups to round out Arrogant Nephalem. While in the form of Greymane Sonya Deathwing, lots of siege potential.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we have Deathwing in the 4-man.
Real quick on an interjection, we do have the poll up and running. Caffeinated Knights, Arrogant Nephalem, who has the better draft this game? And just in case you missed it, let's run down that draft real quick. We have the Banshee on Greymane, Osmanthus on ETC, Jägermeister on Sonya, Harborum on Anduin, and Cyan on Deathwing. Stoic?
And from Arrogant Nephalem, looking to see if they can reverse this 0-1 deficit is Zool, played by Kime, Brightwing, played by Null Pointer, Mephisto, played by Trabe, Raynor, played by Dakilidin, and Johanna, played by Segatai.
So, what draft do you like?
Oof. I don't know.
Johanna.
Arrogant Nephalem has some of my favorite heroes, but I think that Caffeinated Knights here, having the Greymane and the Deathwing, and I don't know if Arrogant Nephalem has enough response to the big boy bad dragon.
Well, the little dragon definitely going to put her foot down instead.
We'll see which dragon wins.
As Deathwing is in the air right now, too afraid to fight the Brightwing.
Oh, get out of here.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, no. Deathwing making an entrance. Lands in front of the rest of his team. Not quite into the enemy team, though, in Worldbreaker form. Instead, we see the stun go out. It's not going to hit anybody. The lava pool as well. Flame Breath also being used, trying to get some damage out, but not really landing much of anything at the moment, unfortunately.
Yep. We got some good rotation denial as Raynor's forced to go all the way the long way around. Blue will get a little bit of a lead here on Soak as Deathwing goes up top to clear that wave there.
I am very interested to see if the teams get as aggressive with the camps as they were last game.
Yeah, we're already seeing here at the 1 minute mark that siege camps have spawned. I'd expect Greymane to rotate and pick one as Raynor begins his.
I really like seeing the early invade on these siege camps. As risky as it is, if you can get the enemy siege camp here, it's going to immediately start doing fort damage because of how they pass.
Yeah, and it pulls the heroes directly out of the lane to respond to this.
Or you get a fort.
Or you just get a fort. I'm not expecting that to happen anytime in the NGS, but it's possible. Ooh, Mephisto booped into a dangerous place.
Yeah, trying to get out away from the Greymane, and Greymane jumps onto him and then backs off. Trey looking really low. You see the Raynor firing off the Q as well, trying to get some separation and some damage. Early advantage on the shrines goes to Caffeinated Knights as Brightwing in the solo lane against Sonya. That's interesting.
And interesting, with this early blue advantage, they decided to take this bottom bruiser camp. Really a sneaky move here.
Very sneaky. Usually this camp waits for a while, but ETC doing some zoning. Joanna going to check it out. And there they go, taking advantage of the partially done camp. They start on it, not knowing that Caffeinated, oh, there, now they know Caffeinated Knight's in the bush. Caffeinated Knights, instead of using their own mana and cooldown to use his Arrogant Nephilims instead, Raynor getting picked off from the bush and booped out into Dragon's Land. Dragons, no man's land, something. There's a relation, dragons are not men, something.
Whether they planned that or that was snap decision making, excellent job by the Caffeinated Knights there.
Yeah, absolutely. Getting the Raynor kill, first kill of the game, first blood, and that bruiser camp, picking off the Brightwing out of position, getting forced away from the rest of her team. Really big play coming out of Caffeinated Knights. They do not want to play from behind this game, and they're coming out strong to prove it.
They say NGS newcomers say what? As they're out here, they're looking for blood on these veterans.
Yep. Speaking of veterans, we see Exterminator coming out of the Raynor instead of Veteran Marksman, or whatever it's called. Oh no, he doesn't have that anymore at level 1, does he? That's later. Someone needs to play some more Raynor, and that's Taco.
Raynor, a great all-around solid hero.
Yeah, absolutely. Caffeinated Knights looking to get control of the shrines again. They do. Greymane going up to cap. No one from Arrogant Nephalem able to get up there to stop. Oh, but here comes the Raynor because Greymane had to take time to clear. Otherwise, get interrupted by the minions. We see a 4-man rotation to the mid lane to stop this Dragon Knight cap. Hopefully, someone from their team can take a shrine back, and we can see a lot more brawling over just a plot of land. Arrogant Nephalem is determined to have the better draft as Brightwing does fall to the Greymane.
Excellent global use here from the Deathwing, making sure that Zool cannot reclaim this top area.
Yeah, and there goes the shrine to Joanna down in the bot lane, picking it up for Arrogant Nephilem's ETC and Anduin rotating down. The ETC Anduin is an interesting combo. Anduin able to rescue him if he gets too far ahead, but I think the light bomb on top of a slide and mosh is going to be a huge engage.
Oh yeah, scary potential there.
Yeah, Caffeinated Knights does get the Dragon Shrine in the Dragon Shire, and gets a big kick onto Raynor as he's pushing through into the mid lane, takes out the tower, looking to go bot. Bot lane, definitely the lane to have control of on this map as 3 camps do push. They get a Mama Dovi for following, thanks for the support. I imagine you're here to support Child Dovi. So welcome. Dragon Knight turned, kicking Joanna into enemy territory. Joanna taking damage from the tower. Iron Skin goes out, able to get away. Easy peasy. And didn't get any caught by the ETC. Joanna still in danger. Brightwing phase shifting instead as the Dragon does try to kick the Brightwing, but not in time. Gets pulled halfway around the fort. Taking damage from the tower to get finished off. The tower does live. All forts rather still up. Really interesting use of the Dragon Knight that phase.
Yeah, oh, here we go. As blue team with their ults are looking to find some damage or at least get this fort. Deathwing is caught behind. Team is trying to knock this fort down so Deathwing doesn't fall, but it looks like...
And he doesn't, it doesn't look like he has Cataclysm available either.
Yeah. Oof. You hate to see it. Big boy Dragon goes down. Red team now counter engage with the Blessed Shield goes out. But blue team will be close enough to just skedaddle on home. So that was Red Deathwing falling is Arrogant Nephilem's first kill this game. But they're looking for another as they find Sonya, and she's running.
She is trying to flee the blind, not gonna do enough to stop her because she can still run blindfolded, apparently. You gotta give credit to Arrogant Nephalem. Their first kill being a raid boss, and a big one at that, is just still a large accomplishment, and maybe that momentum, hopefully they got the item drops they needed and can carry that into the rest of the game. Especially if they want to come back and take us to game 3.
I know you're making some World of Warcraft joke, and I kind of get it, but I do support it. Kill the boss.
Deathwing had his own raid. He was actually 2 of the bosses in the raid, and when you kill a raid boss, it drops loot.
like Deathwing dropping these meteors as he knocks down this fort,
Speaking of segues,
and they will look for value elsewhere. Sonya looking to go clear out this camp top.
there is a bruiser camp still available on the map. Sonya probably going to pick it up after she clears this, although she may go for this camp instead. Deathwing drops to help out with Sonya, and Sonya going to take the camp, or the shrine rather, as the siege camp picked up for Arrogant Nephalem. Arrogant Nephalem really on top of their camps. Even though they lost that bruiser camp down low, which looks like twice in a row now, they're still being aggressive with the camps. They're trying to get them. They're even looking to invade it, to invade the other siege camp. I really like the camp play, even if it's not quite working out for them. Deathwing surrounding them. We get separation. Brightwing coming in for the save on the Joanna, and Caffeinated Knights able to save their siege camp for themselves and get that counter push as they clear up the enemy siege camp.
Yep, Arrogant Nephalem has found themselves an experienced lead. I think that's off of the back of Zool, I imagine, if I can get over there. Yeah, Zool has 11,000 experience, up to this a little more than the Sonya's 9,900. Sonya losing the leap to get away, doesn't quite clear the wall, but she'll be able to spin to win to safety.
Deathwing jumping in on the minions, showing those minions what's up, who's boss. It's me, I'm Deathwing. Brightwing declaring that she's boss because she's got the Deathwing skin and doesn't have to brag about it. You see Cataclysm come in from the Deathwing, almost carries him over the gate, but not quite. Very well positioned to not put himself in trouble again behind enemy lines. And that's going to be on cooldown for a while.
Greymane looking for a quick cap here as Anduin and ETC grab the bottom. Deathwing zones the middle. Greymane's going to get this dragon.
Yep, that's second dragon to Caffeinated Knights. The bottom fort did fall for Arrogant Nephalem. Caffeinated Knights has the advantage and pressure down there. Looking to get another fort here in the mid lane with this objective. Instead of taking it top, they want to go ahead and get the objective lane itself cleared out. They don't want to force themselves in a position to be stuck on the bridge of death, going for that top keep as well. Lots of steady damage going out onto the Dragon Knight as that fort is about to fall. Kick on the Zool, getting him out of here. No thank you, Zool. We don't want you around. As the Dragon Knight almost dead already. We see the Durance Fate come out. There's the Light Bomb. No Mosh to speak of yet. Mephisto getting caught as well. Lightning Nova not going to catch anything as Phase Shift comes out on the Zool, keeping him alive. The leap, big scream from Sonya, getting that separation so her team can disengage. That's a 1-for-0 and lots of heroics used by both teams.
Yeah, ETC still holding that mosh. I was thinking he might get the 3 or 4 man there, but Osmanthus is a better idea for it. We'll see where that comes out. Caffeinated Knights just had a strong engage and now has a 2 building advantage, but they're down about half a level here.
We do see Greymane pick up that Bruiser Camp. That Bruiser Camp unclaimed for a long time. Again, Arrogant Nephalem just showing their superiority on the camp game and trying to translate that into an advantage in the map game as well. They get their own siege camp cleared, but they're not able to get it capped as ETC slides in, gets poly. Cataclysm come for the Deathwing. There goes the bellowing roar for the fear. No, that was yeah, it was. And Caffeinated Knights steal the siege camp. Light Bomb goes out. It's going to catch the Joanna. Joanna falls as well to the Greymane. Raynor, Joanna both go down. Greymane with the finish. That's all the names I was trying to say. And Caffeinated Knights looking for an opportunity to push this keep.
Yeah, meanwhile, Zool up top, just clearing that Bruiser camp. Just doing his duty of spawning these little dead dudes and pushing lanes. Definitely taking a lot of damage here.
And he goes down, just like that. A big pickup for Mephisto.
Yeah.
Deathwing even has the protected talent at level 1, preventing damage taken when he loses that armor plate. Still falls to the Mephisto. A big pickup for Arrogant Nephalem.
Definitely. Deathwing maybe not taking into account how big his hitbox is, as that fort was able to shoot him right in the nose.
Yep. Well, they do say if you're ever being chased by a dragon out to sea, you punch it in the nose and then it'll fly back home and cry to its mommy or something like that.
Deathwing is still with Mom for another 3 seconds here. That definitely worked out for Mephisto.
Yep. Mephisto getting some clear on this Bruiser Camp. Caffeinated Knights having picked up the Bruiser Camp 3 times in a row out of neutral territory. The Dragon is all blue, ready to be picked up by Caffeinated Knights, but not going to be able to. Now they engage 5-man. A big, huge team fight coming out. Jordan's Fate goes out. There's the Roots. We see the Soothing Mist for the cleanse. And all ultimates are down for Caffeinated Knights. We didn't even really see the mosh pit. And
Yeah,
big exchange of heroics. Oh, here comes another Cataclysm available for Deathwing.
Good blink on that Brightwing to save herself, but Sonya finds the chase, and she's a little bit isolated. But she'll be able to
Absolutely, she
escape.
does secure the kill on Brightwing. Brightwing going to come back with a vengeance. Again, that skin, very intimidating. But a 1-for-0 exchange in favor of Caffeinated Knights. They're up 7 kills to 2. They definitely have the momentum this game, but we saw what happened with the momentum last game. It can turn at a moment's notice. The Dragon Lord trying to get the Dragon Knight, not in time, gets disrupted by the Sonya. And a big fiery breath onto the lava burst from the Deathwing. Deathwing now trying to cap again. He gets it just in time as the Condemned, not able to interrupt it. The big slide on Mephisto. Rainer and Mephisto both go down. The Dragon Knight marching into mid. They're looking to finish at level 18, and this is risky. They're going down to the bot lane where the keep's already done. This is a clear end call coming from the comms, and it's bold. While they're up 2, both of the damage dealers down for Arrogant Nephalem. This is super risky. The cores fight back. You see those stones being thrown. And lots of AoE damage.
Dragon Knight, though. A 90% Dragon Knight can do a lot of damage here.
It hits hard. It has a lot of increased damage to the core as we watch that core health go slowly down to 50%. Lots of damage coming out. And it looks like it will fall, and sweep goes to Caffeinated Knights.
Wow. Securing the upset here. Caffeinated Knights, 2-0 domination.
Very surprising coming out of last week. Again, both teams hadn't dropped a match until now. Obviously, one of them had to, but very rough. Very rough. The disconnect or the internet issues during the first game for both sides, turning into a huge momentum swing for Caffeinated Knights.
Yeah, it's almost like that Imperious turned it on, and then the momentum just kept going into the next game there, because Caffeinated Knights had a lot of momentum, both at the end of that first and all through the second here.
Yeah, absolutely. Neither team getting to level 20. Both teams at level 18 at the end of the game. And I don't even remember who got level 10s first. It must have been Caffeinated Knights because they had the structures.
It must have been. There were a couple of times there that
we saw the fear, we saw the light bombs coming out before the Durance.
Yeah, so it must have been that. But there were quite a few times where Arrogant Nephalem was ahead in experience while down in structures.
All right, brother. I will find you in the lobby. Let's see if we can get a rep.
All right. Hello there.
Vivanchi, Viv, nice match. A big sweep coming into a undefeated versus undefeated. Oh, let me lose.
No, we were defeated in one game, and they were defeated in one game. But
match, not map.
Oh.
I'm sorry. Let me
rephrase.
rephrase.
It's undefeated in point totals, at least.
Yeah, I mean you haven't dropped a match.
Yeah.
So really big, and I say y'all only died twice, but let's be real, Deathwing only died twice, and and the rest of you guys apparently know how to play. So if y'all need someone else to fill in that team, or fill in that spot, I know some people. But overall, what a match. Walk us through that first game. What was going on in comms in y'all's heads? Because y'all were really on the back foot until that almost botched flank from Arrogant Nephalem on that bottom shrine.
Well, it wasn't really a botched flank. It was a good flank, except we had better positioning. Like if you saw us, we were like on the opposite end, and our tanks were up there, so they had to go all the way around, and then our tanks were able to collapse instantly.
Did you? Okay, so did you know that was happening? Because right before the flank,
Yes,
as they were flanking, I showed your team view, and y'all couldn't see any of the heroes before.
We assumed it was going to
out.
happen.
Okay.
We assumed that it's going to happen, right? They've been trying to get picks the entire game, right?
Right.
So we were just like, why not just position right this time? So our shot caller saying was, well, we're putting him in MVP, even though he was the one that died so much in Dragonshire, but
right.
We
most
basically
vulnerable
positioned
player.
bot. we positioned bot down there underneath the shrine, waiting for the gank really, and right then we were able to get the Malthael pick right away when he dove in too far. Grayman was easily able to pick him off, and then we were able to really focus on the rest of the team. And Curse Bullet dropped Taunt Varian. The tanks really just pulled their weight against the back line. We were able to clear it out, and that just was such a comeback moment for us, which I'm proud of my entire team for.
Yeah, that fight was absolutely fantastic to see. The flank looked great, and then suddenly it didn't anymore. And it looks like that momentum carried into game 2.
Oh yeah, that was one of our worst maps actually. I'm kidding. We're good. We always ban out our worst maps.
Ugh. And you picked Dragonshire.
Oh, Dragonshire, we love that map, but then they banned the double arrows that we did in the last 2 games.
The double arrows?
The Sylvanas Hanzo.
Oh, yeah.
The double archers. They banned Sylvanas the entire time because they saw Jaeger play it a bunch, but he could play other heroes. We just like hiding it until they banned Sylvanas.
Oh, okay. I gotcha.
Remember, don't show all your cards, right?
Right, absolutely. You definitely want to have something in the back pocket. Stoic, what you got, man?
Yeah, I want to think about just one question here about game number 2. I mean, game number 1 was amazing comeback, such an exciting thing to watch. But game number 2, you guys were ahead in structures, but down a little bit in experience. Was that ever something that was like crossing your mind and you were worried about, or did you guys think, you know what, we're gonna end this game pre-20, we're gonna just keep rolling?
Well, we didn't really focus on that. We were kind of just saying, well, we are down in experience, but we're winning all the team fights and up in macro. Macro is really what we were focusing on at that point, and as you saw, we were able to grab like every single camp, which then made them choose. Well, are they going to let us get the objective now, or are they going to push out the lanes, or are they going to try to gank us? They couldn't do all 3 at once.
Yeah, that's true. Any secrets that you're willing to share about getting that neutral camp so frequently?
The neutral camp? I don't want to give away why we do it so often or when we do it. Our coach told us that was a good time to pick it, and then we just kind of rolled with it. And I'm just proud of our team to be able to grab it at those times as well. So.
Those four dudes bottom were like the 6th member of your team, really pulling their weight in game number 2.
Yeah, it was really good. Game number 2 was really fun. I was sad that they banned Hanzo, but what are you going to do?
Great play. Excellent work. That's all for me.
So, your team is actually pretty new to NGS, correct?
Yeah, I played last season, but it was more of, well, it was first placed in Heroic Division when they were all Masters players, and then it kind of just, all the Masters players left except for one, and then a bunch of Platinum Diamonds went in, so I'm the only one that had any experience beforehand, but I made this team with a bunch of my buddies from Discord, and, well, we're rolling with it, and doing pretty well.
Y'all are doing well. In fact, the Week 2 standings have y'all ranked at 3rd in your division, behind Arrogant Nephalem, who I think you're gonna take their spot, and Soak Every Lane. Have y'all played Soak Every Lane yet?
No, they're actually the last team we're going to fight. They're week 9 for us.
How do you feel about them?
A little pre-playoff match.
I know one of their players. I've played with them before, and, well, I'm really excited to play against them. But in the estimated, we were like second place, I think, like second seed, which is pretty cool. But we're just having fun, seeing how far we can get, really just rolling with it.
All right. Is there anybody else in your division that you're keeping an eye on that you think might be maybe a sleeper in the division or something? Someone else that you're preparing for specifically,
Well,
without telling us
maybe my
how
team-
necessarily.
maybe my team is, but right now I really like going with the surprises and really experiencing HOTS as it's meant to be. Like with them being at their full strength, I really like that. I really like being surprised by, oh wow, they're going Gaslow? That's awesome. They're playing well with it too. I wonder how I can play against this now. And that's
Well, it's definitely fun to hear that kind of enthusiasm about the game itself.
yeah. It's not dead unless the players make it dead, is what I say.
Yeah, absolutely. Is there anything else coming out of those two games that you think we should that you think are like really noteworthy? Something that maybe y'all did that you thought you
I
did really well that didn't get enough attention?
Um, not really. I'd say that one comeback one was amazing, but a lot of our camp and macro was more than the experienced lead in that sort of instance, and we were able to get a really good 5-man sweep with that last fight in Dragon Knight. It was really good.
Good.
I just think like both teams played really well. It was fun, and I'm excited to see what this season is going to pan out to be.
All right. So, is there anything that happened this evening? And there were some few rough spots. Is there anything in particular that you think you guys need to work on? Something that like this is what we're going to address in our next practice, kind of a thing. Not necessarily strategy stuff, but stuff that we saw this game that you're like, this is not acceptable. We need to work on this.
Well, it's more about communication in the draft mode in like a gaming because, well, we have to really focus on the game in the present, where sometimes we focus in the past. And well, we're working on it. We're actually getting a lot better very quickly too, which as a new team is very important.
I think
So-
I think Stoic's kind of thinking the same thing I am. During that last pause on Infernal Shrines, we were sitting there talking about how do you guys come back in this game, and we were talking about how everything that happened up until this point, at any point in the game, everything that's happened up until this point has an effect, but it's not anywhere near as important as the next play, the next fight. And y'all showed us that. Y'all came back, regrouped, and dominated that fight and took it into the house. So yeah,
It really was a blessing, that pause. I feel bad for their internet, of course, but we were able to really breathe in, breathe out, and collect ourselves a little bit better, right? And discuss a little bit more of the tactics of what we can do. So then they just left me on the camp alone, then they rotated, and then I rotated afterwards,
so
which allowed us to get a little bit more lead.
So do you think the arrogant Nephilims need to pause in that game? Made a difference. If they didn't pause, do you think y'all make that same play?
We might have done it, but maybe like 2 seconds later
Okay.
instead of instantaneous. So I think that it wasn't the biggest deal, and I try not to make it the biggest deal, but they also had a time to really regroup and talk about strategy too. So it's like they also had the chance. So it's both teams had a chance with that pause.
All right. Yeah. So, last question I want to ask you before we get to your shoutouts. If you were a color in a box of crayons, what color would you be?
Oh gods. Well, let me just see what color Hanzo is right quick.
I would be Hanzo colored. I would be the color of Dragon Strike.
The color of Dragon's arrow, please. So like orange.
Okay. All right. Dragon Arrow Orange. Fantastic.
Although I play more than Hanzo. Let's see. It's fun to see, and hopefully you guys enjoyed the match, like everyone.
Oh, we loved it.
It was a great,
Like
great
we
match to
got
watch.
Greymane and Deathwing. Like, what were they going to do?
They took Deathwing Brightwing. I don't know what more you could want.
I know.
Yeah, I think my favorite parts were the pauses, because that redirects all the attention back onto us, so that's fun. I'm kidding.
So then you got more publicity.
Yeah. All right. Well, so let's hear your shout outs. Who you got for us?
Well, it was Mother's Day yesterday, which we also played an NGS game yesterday. If you haven't seen that, you should probably watch that. That was really fun too.
Mhm.
But we want to shout out to all mothers, of course. Like, they do so much for us. They're awesome people, and well, we love them. And I want to shout out to Harborum. He did very nice light bombs in that second game, led us to a lot of more kills, and Sane had a pretty good shot call.
Good. Awesome. Definitely respect to the team. Sorry, I'm gonna go back on what I said. Two other questions, real quick, about that game.
Okay.
Who would you say is MVP overall for the match? You said Sane for the
It
Imperius.
was Sane. It was mostly his shot calling, although he was really aggressive most of the time. Like,
Okay.
he had a few extra deaths than he should have on Imperius, but we're
Just a
fine
few.
with that. He
And
really
a few
pulled it
extra
through
deaths
with
on
us.
Brightwing. On Deathwing. Let's be fair. A few extra deaths on Deathwing.
Yeah, he did well on that last fight with the shot calling. I let the team vote on MVP, right?
Okay.
Our first match was Harborum, our healer. Our second match was Jaeger. He did really well on that. Then this match, it was Saiyan.
All right. Well, fantastic. The other thing I wanted to ask real quick is, did we see any actual moshes out of ETC? I don't recall one that actually went through.
One of the powers of moshes is not just to get like a 4-man stun lock, right?
But not using
It's also
it, right?
the threat. It's the threat of the mosh pit which really keeps it.
Okay.
going.
Fair enough. I accept.
Because sometimes they save like basic abilities or even ultimates in order to stop that mosh pit.
Mm-hmm. That's very fair. Stoic, you got anything? Anything else?
No, nothing else. I think the Mosh comment is a great one. That if you haven't used Mosh, it's always a threat. But if you
Yeah.
do use it, then
Always.
it's 2 minutes where it's not a threat.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's
And
fair.
if you don't use it, it's probably more effective than getting a 0-man mosh.
All
Sounds
right.
like my Mosh
Yeah.
is.
A 0-man mosh where you still have it available is better than a 0-man mosh where you don't. That's fair. All right, Viv. Anything else from you before we let you go celebrate with the team?
Thank you for casting for us, and hopefully you'll see more of our games. And yeah, I'm excited to see what this season holds.
All right, fantastic. So are we. All right, get
Keep up
out
the
of
good
here,
work.
yeah, awesome guy. Have a wonderful evening. Have a great celebration with the team, but don't celebrate too hard. Just maybe go stomp some Storm League, not against me.
Not against you. Dang,
Yeah.
that ruins all my plans for the night.
Oh my goodness, what are we gonna do? All right, at least I know who to ban.
Oh, which one?
Sylvanas and Hanzo. Duh.
Only on Dragonshire.
Oh, okay.
Nah, I'm kidding. Hanzo's always a threat.
All right. Well, don't reveal too much of your strat.
Of course. Although that ruins kind of the fun too.
All right. All right, man. Well, have a good night. Wonderful match to watch, and we'll catch you later.
Thank you.
All right, Stoic, calling you back. Join. There it goes. Hey, I called but didn't call. Welcome
Yeah,
back.
Thank
Do you
you.
still have the stat page up?
I do.
What do you think?
I think that it's interesting that oftentimes, Viv's made an interesting connection. He said, we were behind on experience, but we were ahead on macro,
Mm-hmm.
and it was interesting to think about because oftentimes you think of them as the same thing. You macro to gain experience, but in this case, Arrogant Nephalem had more experience, but they didn't have a core, which means that Caffeinated Nights.
I think that's the objective of the game, right?
Well, yeah, and I
Is
think
to have a core?
sometimes you're just out there soaking, but you're not actually getting the. I mean, and Zool did a great job. Like he made a great job as Zool. He played his role and he did it well. But at the end of the day, it's not the level that wins the game.
It's the core. Yeah.
It's the core. It's losing your big building.
And that's something that chat was actually kind of involved in. One of the things they were mentioning is that Arrogant Nephalem, while able to stay in the game, their team comp doesn't really accomplish anything. And granted, Zool has some follow-up engage on the Joanna, but they don't really have a way of keeping a fight going. They can just kind of pop off what they can, but it's up to Caffeinated Knights to keep fighting. When you only have one stun, and then you have the root coming from Zool. You get words are hard while other things are happening.
I think it's an interesting. I think it's an interesting
But
point
you know
there.
what I mean? They had the stun and the root. Other than that, Caffeinated Knights just absolutely decides if they're gonna fight or not. And so when they do, obviously they're gonna fight because they think they can take it. And as the scorecard shows, they could take it.
They certainly could. And Caffeinated Knights, takes this game in a commanding fashion. I was impressed. Arrogant Nephalem was a team, as you know, last night I was excited to watch them play. I just heard all these things and seen them around and seen their rankings, and they played a good game. But Caffeinated Knights, the sleeper picks, coming out here and showing them who's boss.
Yeah, absolutely. And as we can see, as you disappear, as we can see, they pick it up. They pick up 2 maps in a row. They sweep a team that's ranked above them, ranked number 2 in the division. Granted, they were ranked number 3 in the division, showing that needs to switch. At least just switch. I would be remiss to see to think that Arrogant Nephalem falls much farther than to third or fourth. They played a really good match. They just didn't execute quite as well. I think maybe they revisit the drafting a little bit. And Caffeinated Knights, I think they did everything. I think they did everything the way they needed to. Their team comps are coherent. Their execution, other than some sketchy stuff with the Imperius, as we've noticed, really good execution overall. And I think they deserved the win out of that.
Yeah. In points, this puts Caffeinated Knights now tied with Arrogant Nephalem, but having played one less game.
Also having beat Arrogant Nephalem, which...
Also having beat Arrogant Nephalem, yes.
I mean, we have a lot of season left, and I'm excited to see it. So we'll see how they go forward.
Definitely, they're a team to watch. Everybody tuning in. Caffeinated Knights coming in strong, starting this season with 3 victories in a row.
Absolutely, and I expect them to keep rolling. They have momentum, and especially because they don't. It doesn't look like they have more than 1 or 2 hard matches relative to how they've been performing. Coming up in the next 2 weeks of the season, I expect them to carry that momentum.
And as they continue to practice and get more experience, obviously it seems like it's for the most of the team, Coordinated is a new type of play for them. They're just going to keep getting better and better and stronger and scarier and scarier.
Yep. Well, do you have anything else that you need to hit on for this match?
If you're watching a VOD of this, or if you're here in chat with us, I think that Varian play in game 1, while they did end up losing the game, if you're looking to play some taunt Varian, I think that was a good way to do it. Stay on the horse, stay in a bush, and use that as if you're on your horse, you're a lot faster than if you're not. So a great way to close a gap and start a fight.
Yeah, absolutely. Tanking does not mean taking damage. Tanking is anchoring, keeping your team alive. Keeping your team alive does not mean absorbing damage. It means preventing it. So, very, very good thing to bring up. Absolutely, Stoic. And with those words of wisdom, we are going to leave